Verse 6. So Isaac settled in Gerar. When the men of the place asked him about his wife, he said, "She is my sister," for he feared to say, "my wife," thinking, lest the man of the place should kill me because of Rebekah, because she was attractive in appearance. So how does this differ from the Abram story? Already in the introduction part mentioned that now Abram, when he said Sarah's a sister, same father, different mother, so a half sister. So it's a half truth. Isaac, Rebekah, there's no direct connection. Yes, sure, they're kinsmen, okay, because of Rebekah being the grandchild of a granddaughter of Abram's brother, okay, but that's a granddaughter of Abram's brother and not from the same father. It's not Abram's daughter by another wife. Okay, that would have put it exactly the same. So his lie is then a straight, plain out lie. She is not his sister at all. Okay, so related, yes, but not his sister. Yeah, I know there are certain cultures where people call their cousins sisters, but I don't think I've yet really to meet a culture where they would call, well, that's a great-grandfather, so not really call I don't think I've met a culture like that yet. It's like the great-grandfather is the same. I'm thinking, racking my brains here. I don't think I've met a culture like this yet. So maybe it was true, like in their culture, that because they're kind of same great-grandfather, that maybe then still called a sister. I don't see any really other examples in the Bible of this. So I think this is just, I think I can I can say that this is just plain a straight-out lie. Okay, so this is the first thing where it's different. The second thing actually where it differs in the fact that we don't see with Abram, he told before, and he told Sarah to say that she's just a sister. We don't see this in this instance. We don't see Isaac telling Rebekah before the time, right, for my sake or whatever, say this. Okay? It's only when people asked him that he said this. Now I kind of, I mean, again it's difficult. Would he have before the time thought about it, came up with an excuse or anything like that? I mean, like, or was this in the spur of the moment kind of thing? Like here sitting at the table in a restaurant or something. I mean, sure, I mean, there were places where they could sit and eat, or sitting just meeting at the gate somebody, and then with her, and then the people ask, "Oh, who's that?" And then and the brain started working. Oh, she's my sister. Kind of. Isaac was, from what we know from the Bible about him, not a very strong person in the sense of standing always up for what is right, okay, or even just plain speaking out. He was more, let anybody kind of do with me whatever they want to. He wanted to please everyone, okay? So maybe this could have been a spur of the moment kind of thing, more than a pre-planned thing with this kind of personality. Okay, so he didn't want to offend, he didn't want to, and he was like, oh, well, this is going to maybe end bad for me or for her or somebody here. I need to say so. Oh, she's my sister, right? Like people like that kind of sometimes do things this way. So he could have before the time, maybe he didn't. That's not such a very important point to make. What he did though is the reasoning behind this is he might be killed because she is attractive. Okay, now Sarah's case, we mentioned she's beautiful, yes, she's attractive, no, it's the same kind of idea. Okay, the looks, most likely, although sometimes just a personality can be attractive as well. Right, so the reasoning is they might kill him if they found out his wife. Now there's no, they say, he explains it's because of because of this idea that she is beautiful as well. Verse 8. When he had been there a long time, Abimelech, king of the Philistines, looked out of the window and saw Isaac laughing with Rebekah, his wife. So he's like, the Bible's not saying, okay, they slept. They do say that sometimes. But the way we would speak easily these days about intercourse, for example, right? They knew each other. Now in this case they laughed with each other. What exactly that means, we don't know. They were doing something which a husband, brother and sister would not do under normal circumstances. I know there are exceptions to the rules with evil people out there, right? But under normal circumstances, this is not with a brother and sister. So exactly what this laughing is a euphemism, which basically means that they knew each other, which is a euphemism for that intercourse. Something like that, right? So again, we don't exactly know what it is. It doesn't mean that you saw them in bed together or something like that, but they did something which then ultimately led Abimelech to see that, man, they're not just brother and sister, because this is not our brother and sister act. Verse 9. So, just as well, an interesting thing here is the fact that he looked out of the window and he saw this, right? We kind of then, but this is later on, okay? So this is not what Moses would have had in mind. But we can maybe, if we tell the story later on, draw this conclusion of David seeing Bathsheba, okay? And he looked from and he saw her, and then ultimately, but in this case, he's going to be angry, but he's not going to go and take her anyhow kind of idea, although she had a husband like David did with Bathsheba. Verse 9. So Abimelech called Isaac and said, "Behold, she is your wife. How then could you say, she is my sister?" Isaac said to him, "Because I thought lest I die because of her." So he was called in. Abimelech asked the question. Not the first time. Abimelech asked a question from this family, the same kind of question, right? There we saw Abram's answer, and in this case as well, the answer is, because I thought I will die, because I thought, you're going to kill me, you want her, so you'll kill me, the husband. And so again, strange thinking of the David story is that, that is actually what happened. David, sorry. David is actually going to kill Uriah, or have him killed, to get the beautiful woman. So what they thought, but again, these guys, when they wrote this down, they didn't know this, right? Because I don't believe that this was written in the time of David, later on. But we know that this is what the Israelites fear, that Abram, Isaac, that the Gentile king is going to kill them to get the beautiful woman. While in actual fact, the Gentile king's always afraid of doing it, and they always then give a lot for the ones who will do it. Is actually the Israelites, King David, okay, which is more to tell us as well something, okay, about sometimes Christians are, what we expect of non-Christians is what the Christians do to us, which is sad but unluckily true. Verse 10. Abimelech said, "What is this you have done to us? One of the people might easily have lain with your wife, and you would have brought guilt upon us." Okay, so now in this case, we don't see, like in other cases, Pharaoh took her as a wife, Abimelech took her, right? We didn't see here anybody taking her yet, especially not the king, right? But it might have happened. He's saying it might have happened. And then there would have been this great sin. Yes, it would have been a great sin. And like Abram, Isaac here, there's no one here fearing God. They're not going to look at it this kind of way. But just remember, the personality between Abram and Isaac is totally different. But so this might have led to that. So he's like, oh, so this might have brought all this guilt upon us. Verse 11. So Abimelech warned all the people, saying, whoever touches this man or his wife shall surely be put to death. So he gave Pharaoh with Abram years before. He told his people to kick Abram out of the land. And in this case, Abimelech is not kicking the people out of Isaac out of the land, and Abimelech is not giving them anything. It's not stated like the previous Abimelech giving anything. But what this Abimelech did is to tell his people, to inform his people, to not touch her. Okay? Now that's a better solution. Don't touch her. That's his wife. Don't touch them. Neither the man nor the wife. If they do, they will be put to death.